Well, good morning to you. How are you? It is Tuesday, July the 14th, 2020, and I am Emily Craig. And what I do here is listen for what's going on and guidance and give what comes to me from my prayer life. Okay. And today what came to me was a scripture, Matthew 8:32. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you or set you free. All right? Good idea, huh? A lot of people are arguing today over what is true and what is not true. All right? Now, those of us who are older, we remember vividly the death of JFK and Ruby Ridge and Philadelphia Move and Oklahoma City and Waco and 9/11/93 and 9/11/2001. And we are aware that these are all connected. These are connected to something called the deep state, and they're connected to something called secrecy. Our nation has been running on secrecy since John Fitzgerald Kennedy confronted and addressed the CIA as being full of snakes, and the Federal Reserve as ripping off the people. That's why he was taken out. Okay, they're the same people who are behind Agenda 21 and the Green Deal. All right, same ones. Okay, so if you don't know the truth about that, you don't know how to assess the credibility of news organizations and our present hierarchy in government. I'm going to exempt the president because we have a patriot president for a change. How many of you know that the last four presidencies, George Herbert Walker Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush Jr., and Barack Hussein Obama all worked together on the DARPA Pegasus program to bring in the New World Order. Do you know that? You should know that, okay? You need to know, do you know how COVID-19 was derived and how it was funded and developed at Fort Detrick, Maryland, under the bioweapons program? Are you aware, do you know, the history of the cartel called the Illuminati, which is made up of Masons, the Vatican, and chivalric organizations that are populated by rich oligarchs? Do you know how they work? Are you aware how education has changed since you were a child? Okay, that the Common Core curriculum is a recent innovation that teaches our children insubordination, entitlement, and the belief that all people are the same, which they're not. Are you aware that in Russia, the Bolsheviks defunded the police, and in Germany, the Nazis defunded the police before they took over? Okay, are you aware how big Pharma, corporate agribiz, FDA, and USDA are affecting your food supply? Are you aware of that? That small local farmers are being forced out? Are you aware how the church has kept all of the people ignorant about metaphysics and what actually happens to the spirit and the soul after death? Are you aware of that? Well, if you're not aware of these simple documentable facts, you haven't been paying attention. And if you haven't been paying attention, you're a lot like a bovine in a paddock that's being kept busy by grazing on the grass and kicking up his heels. People who aren't paying attention to human, social, and civil affairs are not fully sentient because they're not aware of their environment. Not being aware of your environment is kind of a dangerous thing when there are snakes in the grass and bioweapons in the air and karma's on the schedule. All right. So I would like to encourage everyone to bring yourself up to speed on what the deep state is, on what federal agencies are being paid to do, on how the church has fallen from its mission and covenant. And I'm talking about practically all of them. There with a few exceptions. There are the Anabaptists, and there are the Orthodox, and there are the devout Catholic communities. But on the whole, churches today are more concerned with political correctness than they are with the lifestyle of holy matrimony and how the dynasties of families have preserved the Christian covenant down through the centuries. The Christian covenant and the Celtic covenant. There's a Celtic communion that I'll be speaking to. All right. So if you want to be free, you need to take notice of what's true. And if you want to take notice of what's true, you need to turn off the television. In fact, haul it out of the house and start reading again. And start gathering your family together over the dinner table and speaking to each other again. And start acting like sentient Homo sapiens again. Because if you don't know it, the Maritime Admiralty legalist system has deemed that we are all nothing but chattel cattle, consumable products with our names in all capitals. And if we don't want to be treated like one of those, we're going to have to become aware of what's true. And we may have to take some lawful steps to disengage from that system. We may have to take some practical steps to disengage from false information and to get with people who know what's going on. Okay? And a word to the wise is sufficient. I'm sorry to see that most of the people in my neighborhood are not aware and they don't care. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You say, have a nice day, and you have to be friendly and you have to be tactful wherever you are. Wherever you go, there you are. Have a nice day. Yes, we'll all try. Bye-bye.